Supervisor Albee, if you don't mind, I just want to make sure that the crowd understands that the Magnolia project and Woodbury projects that were just discussed, those projects have not been approved by the county. What they've been is the board last week directed staff to accept those applications to begin processing. Neither one of those projects even have complete applications to the county. So they've got a long ways to go, and there's a very drawn-out process. I mean, you're going to be hearing a lot about these projects in the coming months or years as they go through the environmental process before the board actually makes a decision on whether or not to approve or disapprove the projects. I just want to make sure everybody was clear on that.
Hi, my name is Barbara, and we live off of Camp Far West and Niceville out there. We've got 60 acres. Well, my concern is, well, one of my concerns is you're having the water treatment plant at the field and this new mountain dump. I'm wondering what it's going to do to our property value to have a dump in your backyard. That's one of my concerns. And then I don't know if any of you have ever followed one of those trash trucks from 20 to Onstrom and seen all the trash that gets left on the side of the road. That also concerns me, what it's going to look like when you start doubling it, tripling it, and bringing all the other trucks in. And then I just wondered how you guys would like to look at a 265-foot dump in your backyard.
My name is Linda Maldonado. I live here in Wheatland. However, I'm actually in the county because I'm right by Nichols Ranch. I'm an educator, so I think about words a lot, and I'm going to be very brief. That is, there's one word that that Coach Crabtree didn't mention, but he kind of talked about it. And that is something that's very important when you're considering things like this, and that's precedence. Precedence in law, whenever something happens and then after it gets going, then there's a precedence towards that. It's already established. Right, Judge Jim? Precedence. Not necessarily, okay, but that's the trend then is precedence, and people can say, well, this is what has happened. And then other things, it's easier for other things to happen. Just want you to think about that word. That's all I have to say.
Hi, my name is Bill Evans, resident of Wheatland. I just want to say to the sheriff, I think you guys do a good job in working with Wheatland. I would like to say, and you didn't mention it in any of your briefing, and I think you guys do it, but the whole underage drinking and to lead on to the underage drinking is really the house parties and trying to really make sure that house parties cannot occur. You know, whatever we need to do, if it's new ordinances or whatever around those, I think it would be a good direction to go.
Yeah, if I may, through Supervisor Nicoletti's leadership, actually there is an ordinance that is in final draft form now, and it should be coming to the board, I would imagine, within sometime in the next 2 to 3 board meetings. Is what they refer to as a social host ordinance that's been implemented in different cities and counties throughout not only the state of California, but the nation as well. And our county council, our office, and Supervisor Nicoletti have worked on that, and that'll be proposed to the board, I would imagine, in the next 2 to 3 board meetings. You bet.
Good. And I hope that the city of Wheatland would also, look into a similar ordinance if the county ordinance won't cover the city. Also to add to some of the things that have been said, for myself coming from the East Coast and coming from really an area that is known as a landfill of northeastern Pennsylvania for really New York City and a lot of the different areas that ship all their stuff in. We talk about, the Peel Democrat threw around some numbers about revenue for the county, yada, yada, yada. You know, a lot of those areas, I know if the city or county has a dump and they're willing to take that stuff into their city or county, the residents don't have taxes. You know, somebody mentioned about incentives for all the headache it's going to cause the residents. If we're really going to do it, and you're really going to approve this, I sure hope you're charging more than $4.40. The other thing I wonder about is this whole amendment, I think in 2000, that is gradually increasing the amount of waste that they can intake. I'm not really a big green guy, per se, but if we're going green and everybody's into the recycling, why over the course of time is that being increased as opposed to decreased? You know, that doesn't really make sense to me in this day and age. If we're going green, and this is only supposed to be for this local area, those should be going down and not up. So,
If I could, and I kind of looked through the documents from the 2000 approval, and what was interesting is back then, what they call the diversion rate, you know, the rate of garbage that comes in to Yuba Center disposals that gets diverted to recyclables. In 2000, it was only 18%. This past year, it was over 60%. So the waste stream from Yuba and Center counties going to the landfill has gone down. Like in the instance of the proposal from the city of San Francisco, their city goal is to get to zero waste.
Would you believe anything the city of San Francisco says?
No,
I mean, honestly.
I understand.
Anybody.
So from what I do understand though is the proposal that Recology had made to the city of San Francisco to accept their waste stream. It was to phase. It starts out at over 400,000 tons per year, but in theory, the city is going to reduce its waste stream that would be railed to another jurisdiction.
But again, if our amendment says we could add more as time goes by, if the city of San Francisco decreases, then what's to stop, as many people said? Oakland says, whoa, these guys have room. Berkeley says, these guys have room. Let's all send it up to Wheatland. That's a bunch of baloney, you know, when you really think about it. That's what I want you guys to really think about. If you want to go green, why are you increasing instead of decreasing? You're just allowing, we're doing our part, as you say, with recycling. They need to do their part, and why should we take their garbage? That's just ridiculous. A couple other things I said, you know, as far as residents go, you know, I keep hearing here that people aren't listening, people aren't hearing what we're saying, then you need to vote. You need to get out there and you need to vote them out. You know, I mean, that's the only way you can do it. And, you know, my last point here, my last question to throw out there is a couple things I've seen is there is no way, I don't know as much about the rail as some of these guys probably know, but from what I've seen, there is no real way right now for rail to get up here from San Francisco. So you say the documentation is incomplete. I want to see the full plan, fully documented before anything is voted on either way. How are they getting it here if it is coming by rail? What is the real plan? And then, you know, how you say 167 truckloads, how does that equate to train cars? Is that a 1-for-1? Because if you're going to go with this amendment and you're going to allow train cars, you know, how does that equate to trucks? And that would have to be included somehow if you're going to approve this. And that's all I have to say.